Hey everyone, thought I'd do a video, and today I'm going to be doing a Pan That Palette update. So this update is long overdue, as you could probably tell. So I haven't updated you guys in a while on my Pan That Palette. I've been a little bit busy and I've kind of neglected it. I didn't realize how long it had been since I made a Pan That Palette update, so I thought I'd update you now. So this is what my first palette looks like, my Sweet Indulgence one, the depotted one. So it's basically the same as it was before. I have expanded kind of, I guess, these two just ever so slightly. I've been making very slow progress because what I really should be doing is focusing on these two shimmery shades, because the shimmery shades in the Too Faced palettes tend to be more easier to go through, which is the same with most palettes, but I've been focusing more on the matte ones because I do wear matte eyeshadows more than I wear shimmery eyeshadows. They're a lot easier to use up, and these are pretty common colors, but it's really hard to work through them. And I've been kind of neglecting these two as well while I'm using other palettes. It's kind of crazy, but I really need to work on that a little bit more. So these are what the four shades look like right now, as well as this black one. I always keep it in this palette just in case I want to use it, because it's kind of crumbly as well. So I figured the more I use it, the better. You can always use a black at any time. I have a lot of black eyeshadows, so the more I can use them, the better. So that's just what the progress looks like on my Sweet Indulgence palette, just the way that it is. So I haven't made that much progress there, but I have made progress on the Lorac Pro palette. So this is what my Lorac Pro palette looks like. So as you guys would probably know, I made a goal to hit pan on these three shades, which I have. The last update I only had hit pan on light bronze, but now I have hit pan on gold and nude. It took a pretty long time to get through that. I didn't really like nude all that much, and I figured I would like gold as well, which it was okay. It's just that for some reason I just wasn't in love with the gold shade, which I was for a while. I was really in love with gold eyeshadows, but now I'm kind of like steering away from them. I don't know what it is about that, but for a while I was kind of in love with this gold shade, and now I'm just like kind of over it. It's not something that I gravitate towards as much anymore. It's a really nice gold shade, and it's like a really nice intense gold, but for some reason I just haven't been going for it. But I have hit pan on these three shades, which was my goal for this palette. So I'm gonna call it quits on this palette for now. I really do love the shades in the Lorac Pro palette, and I eventually want to use up all of these eyeshadows at one point, but I figured I'd try to use as much as I could from the shadows that I choose out of here for now. But now I kind of want to focus on a little bit more of my other palettes in my collection, because I do have a lot. So the next palette that I wanted to play around with a little bit more is this one. This is the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette. So I love Too Faced. Obviously, I'm panning the Sweet Indulgence palette from the shades that I really like from it, but this is what the Semi-Sweet palette looks like. I have the original Chocolate Bar palette when it was like the really thick packaging, so I have the thick packaging one, but the original one also is this thin now. They sell it this thin. They don't have like the big chunky version, which I'm kind of upset about, because like I really wish they both had this thin, because then it would be easier to travel around with, because I do love the original, but I've been kind of wanting to play around with the newer version of it. I only have the original two, the Semi-Sweet and the original Chocolate Bar palette, so I wanted to play around with the newer version, because I haven't really played around with it a lot. I have played around with the original Chocolate Bar palette because it was the original. It was like my ultimate favorite for a little while, but I kind of wanted to play around with this because it is newer. I haven't had much time to play with it. I don't know, when I got this, I just wasn't in love with it like I was with the original Chocolate Bar palette. But then I started playing around with it a little bit more near the end of using up the Lorac Pro palette, because I didn't really like the way that the gold looked so much on my eyes. So what I did was I combined it with this eyeshadow here. It's called Bon Bon, and it's like a, I don't know how to explain this color. It's just like a really bronzy type of color. Let me see. I don't know how to explain this color. I don't know if you can see the swatch because the lighting in my room is crap. But that's kind of what the color looks like. But it's a really, really nice color. I really love it, and I really like the way that this whole palette kind of looks almost warm toned, and I don't know, it's kind of putting me in a summer type of mood. So what I really want to do is I want to try to focus on this palette a little bit more. I'm not exactly sure which ones I want to try to use up. I was thinking of trying to use up Bon Bon, because I do kind of like that color, and maybe Nougat, because it is like a traditional nice, I don't know if you can see that, but it's like an okay type of, like a transition shade. Like, it's not too dark for the transition, and I don't know, there's just something about it that it's just easy to use up type of thing. It's an easy one to love. It can also be an all over eyelid shade for, yeah, I just really like it. So that is what this looks like. I've been kind of wanting to get into this, like I said, because I just don't use it enough. I want to give it some love. I want to give it the proper amount of love that it needs. So for now, I think I'll just try to focus on using up one shade for now, because I do have the other eyeshadows in the Sweet Indulgence palette that I want to get some good progress on. So I think I'll try to get as far as I can with Bon Bon, because I do like it as an all over lid shade, because I kind of mixed it with the gold in the Lorac Pro palette and then I put it all over the eye, and I really loved the way that it looked. And like, I tried just this eyeshadow all over the lid one time, the Bon Bon shade, all over the lid without the gold, once I did hit pan on the gold shade in the Lorac Pro palette, and it was like one of the nicest colors, all over lid colors that I've ever tried. Like, I've never absolutely loved all over eyelid shades before. Like, I just wasn't attracted to them because I wanted more than one shade on my eye, but since it is such a nice color, it's just easy to put it all over the eye and quickly blend it out and then put on eyeliner, and then that's it. You call it a day for your eyeshadow. And I don't know, I just kind of want to play around with that a little bit more. Let me know down below if there's any other shades you want me to try to pan in the Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette from Too Faced, because I kind of want to, I was thinking of panning a little bit more shades in here. The one that I really don't like though is this one, because it's just like a really hard shade to love. It's like this glitter bomb of a thing, and there's like basically just glitter. Like, I've rarely ever seen eyeshadows that are basically just glitter from Too Faced. I never got why people thought that some of the shades in the Too Faced palettes, especially the 9 eyeshadow palettes, I never got what they meant when they said that it was basically just glitter. But like, I'm actually pressing pretty hard in here and kind of just wrecking the eyeshadow here, and it's basically just glitter, like a really, really glittery thing. It's like, I don't know, I just don't like this type of thing. Most of the time when people say it's just glitter, I just assume that it's a really sheer eyeshadow with intense glitter, which I guess this one kind of is, but I really don't see any type of like under thing for this. Like, you guys know what I mean, hopefully. But I just don't see any purpose to this eyeshadow at all. I just don't like it at all. So let me know which ones you think I should try panning out of this palette, which ones you guys are interested in seeing how well I do with panning from this palette, because I'm kind of interested as well. I've never really tried panning any of the Too Faced Chocolate Bar of either of them. Like, I rarely ever hit pan on eyeshadows at all, and I'm kind of interested to see how well I do in this because it might give me some indication on how well I'll do on the original Chocolate Bar palette, because I eventually do want to start panning some of the ones from there as well and get like the thin packaging ones. Like I want to kind of use up that palette just so that I can get like the thinner packaging eventually one day, hopefully. But for now I kind of want to play around with this one a little bit more. I don't wear a whole lot of makeup lately, but I figured playing around with Bon Bon and maybe some of these other eyeshadows in this palette might make it a little bit easier, hopefully this summer, to just get up, get ready, try new things out with that eyeshadow palette, because I've never really truly just wanted to play around with this eyeshadow palette, and now that I kind of want to do that, I kind of want to explore it a little bit more. So let me know which ones you think I should pan from this eyeshadow palette, because I'm really interested in what you guys think I should pan out of that. For now, I'm just going to focus as much as I can on Bon Bon and see how far I get. Let me know down below in the comments what you think of that. So that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next one. So bye.